Okay, for today, you are going to listen to and read along with the last day of school. There will be questions when you are done to answer that pull details from the text. Good luck.
Last Day of School. Written by Jessica Malordi. Illustrated by Chelin Ethija. Focus question. Who is telling the story? What does this character do on the last day of school? It was the last day of third grade, and my classmates and I had finished cleaning out our desks. Our teacher, Mr. Brown, had passed out the summer reading lists. We had even shared our goals for the summer. Mine was to go fishing during my family's camping trip. What next? I wondered, tapping my feet impatiently under my desk. Mr. Brown stood up and cleared his throat loudly. "Now's the time you've all been waiting for," he announced. "Is it summer now?" I asked, and my classmates burst out laughing. Mr. Brown chuckled too, but shook his head at me. "Almost," he said. "But first, it's time to hand out yearbooks." Everyone cheered, including me. I had completely forgotten about the yearbook. Last year, I only asked the other kids in my own class to sign. This year, my goal was to collect all the third graders' signatures. I watched excitedly as Mr. Brown produced a tall stack of yearbooks from a box under his desk. Once Mr. Brown handed me my copy, I skimmed through the pages. I spotted a picture of Marisol next to me at recess. I hurried over to her desk and asked, "Marisol, will you sign my yearbook?" "Of course," Marisol replied. She took her special pink pen out of her backpack just for the occasion. She even dotted the I in her name with a heart. Not everyone's signature was as fancy as Marisol's. Still, pretty soon, I got my whole class and Mr. Brown to sign my yearbook. Their signatures crisscrossed every page, like footprints on a hiking trail. "Okay, class, now it's time for the kickball game," Mr. Brown said. "Perfect," I thought, leaping up from my chair. "The rest of the third graders can sign my yearbook at the game." We all lined up on the playing field and waited for our turn to kick. As the game went on, I asked the other third graders for their signatures. I was so focused on my goal that I hardly noticed when Frankie scored the winning run. By then, I had all the third graders' signatures in my yearbook, except one. John Morgan had hurt his knee sliding into home plate at the start of the game. He had gone to see the school nurse and had not come back. "All right, kids, school's out for summer," Mr. Brown exclaimed. "Thanks for a great year and have a wonderful vacation, everyone." I could see parents' cars lining up in the parking lot for pickup. Suddenly, I wasn't ready for summer vacation yet. Instead, I ran like the wind to the nurse's office. John was sitting on the cot with his head in one hand. With the other, he held a bag of ice on his knee. "Hi, John," I said, skidding noisily into the nurse's office. John looked up and gave me a tiny, feeble smile. "Would you please sign my yearbook?" I asked, thrusting the book forward. John's little smile transformed into a broad grin. "Yes, but only if you sign mine," he bargained, and I nodded. We traded our books. I opened his and saw only a few names scattered here and there. When I looked over at John, he was running his fingers over all my signatures. I wanted to have everyone sign mine this year, he said sadly. And then I got stuck in here. His shoulders slumped in disappointment. His smile had turned back into a frown. I know what we can do, I told him. My parents said I could have a big birthday party in July. If you come, you can have lots of kids sign it then. Really? John asked, and his whole face lit up again. Definitely, I declared, nodding with enthusiasm. That would be great, he said. Together, John and I walked out of the nurse's office and into our long-awaited summer vacation. I left school this year with a full yearbook and a new friend. Not a bad way to start the summer, don't you think?